Hey everyone, in this video we are going to unbox and set up a Wilson Baiardo electronic stringing machine. We are a huge purchaser of these. We get about 2 or 3 brand new ones every year. We are very close with the engineers and designers of this machine. They helped us with our stringing technique. They helped us learn how to set it up. And we're going to walk you through all of that right now. So it does come in 2 parts. You have a smaller part, which is the top box. This is going to be your base. And then you have a larger box, which is going to be the turntable, the actual tabletop machine. And all you really need is a set of scissors. Everything else is included in the box. It's quite simple. Wilson suggests that you have 2 people do it, but it is quite an easy machine. So we're going to try to show you how to do it with 1 person. It's not that tough. And we're gonna get started, unbox it, get going with it right now. It does come with these little zip tie things. All you have to do is cut those off. It gets delivered by UPS freight, so it does come on a pallet. So if you're ordering this for a residential address, it might be a little tricky to receive it, easier for us here at a business address, but let's get right into it. You really only need the scissors for the opening of the boxes. Everything else will be inside. This top box, the small one, is going to be the base, and I definitely recommend that you start with the base. This way you can have the top turntable to put on top and not have any room or any issues putting it anywhere. Everything comes nicely packed with styrofoam. We do encourage you to keep all of the boxes, all of the components. If you have any issues, it's easy to put it back in the box and send it back if you need, or if you ever have to transport it or store it. It's definitely great to keep the box. Inside you will get a cover. I highly recommend that you cover the machine when it's not in use. And as a pro tip, Wilson suggests that you leave the machine on at all times. So you never have to power it down. It does have a sleep mode. Something to consider. It doesn't take a lot of battery energy. It doesn't take a lot of electricity to run. So when it's not in use, you can just leave it on. It helps with the calibration. Inside the box, you will have an Allen wrench, which helps you set it up. There is a second Allen wrench as part of the tools to maintain the machine, but this one is great just for the base screws, and you get a couple extras, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in my pocket or put it off to the side. And that's really only the tool you'll need is 1 Allen key. Now what you want to do is you want to set this up upside down. So this black part is normally the top. We're going to put it face down. Wilson does a great job of leaving all of the screws, bolts, washers, everything already on the machine, so you don't have to search for them. We're going to take them all off, and then we're going to put the leg or the base on the mount. All right, there you have it. So we have these pretty long screws with a washer. It takes us a little bit of time to unscrew them. You can do them by hand. It's not really that tough. And once you have them all set, I have them here to the side. We're gonna take our legs here, and you're gonna notice that it has a flat side and a curve, which matches perfectly with the base here. So we're gonna place that down, set it up, and then you can look through the holes and line them up so that you know that it's set in place. And then you can go ahead and put a couple of them in. Every machine will come with a set of Allen keys on the inside. Again, there was that 1 separate Allen key or Allen wrench, and then you get a set of another, it looks like 6 or 7 here. The largest one is what we're going to use for these bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and screw them all in. I'll do them about 80%, and then when I have them all set, I'll tighten them up fully. Okay, so I have those 6 bolts and screws in the exact same places that I pulled them out of. So in case you were wondering, you would see the distribution and the location of the 6 screws and bolts. You pull them out, put the base on, screw them back in by hand, and then now I finish them up with the wrench. You want to go quite tight on this. This is a secure part of the machine. Now that you have them all locked and tight, we're going to flip this over. You want to be quite careful with it. This weighs, I would say, I don't know, 40 pounds. So when you flip it over, we have our base of the machine set, and we're going to go on to the next step, which is quite similar. You're going to have all of your bolts already set up inside the machine. You're going to take the time to pull those out. So the first one had 6 bolts. You're going to do another 6 here. Place them in my pocket so I don't lose them. They do give you 2 additional ones should you lose them. All right, I have all of the bolts taken out. I have the base secured in. You may notice that it comes with this, feels like a mouse pad. It's a little bit of a felty top. It's inside a plastic case here. And what this does is, this fits on the back of the machine, right there. And that prevents string clippings from getting stuck inside the machine. That also prevents any debris from getting in there, and I like to rest the power pack on there from the electricity. So don't forget to lose any of these pieces, or hold on to them, I should say. We're gonna put this base, we have 6 screws on the bottom, 6 taken out of the top. We're gonna put it off to the side, and we're gonna open up our top part of the machine right now for you. Everything is molded into the styrofoam to keep it safe. Now inside here, you'll see we have the top part of the machine covered in plastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the plastic off, lift it up. Hopefully the lock is engaged on the machine, and I'm going to instantly put it on the base. So the screws are taken off the base. I'm gonna lift it up, set it up on the base, and then start screwing it in. Okay, so the bottom of the machine, as I said, is about 40 pounds. The top part of the machine is quite heavy, so I'm gonna explain some of it, then you'll watch me do it. You have on here a rectangle. On the bottom of the machine top is a matching rectangle, and you have to leave it open with your your computer ports here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the top of the machine, set it up so it clips onto this rectangle, and then I'm going to put screws on the side. 6 screws, 3 on this side, 3 on this side. Make sure you're not blocking the ports, and when you lift up the top of the machine, make sure you don't squish any of the ports on here. So make sure they're off to the side so you can lay it on top. It'll sit perfectly, and then you put some screws in. So I'll show you that now. I've prepped the top of the machine. As you can see, it's just sitting there. I do recommend using the brake so that the turntable doesn't slide around. It allows you to hold it more stably. So I'm going to lock the brake, pick it up, and line it up. I'm going to move away any of these parts so they don't pinch. I don't know if you can see that, but it lines up here underneath. I'll tilt it a little bit for you. So this shell fits right on. If I let it go, it is not as stable. So you want to quickly put a screw in to help keep it in place. So what I've done is I've taken the original 6 bolts that were 3 on this side, 3 on that side. I put 1 and 1 on each side just to prevent the machine from tipping. Now I'm going to put in the other 4, put them in loosely, and then when all 6 are in, tighten them up. That is everything here on the machine. As you can see, it was quite simple. We had 6 screws all the way at the legs and the feet of the machine. We have 6 screws getting the tabletop portion connected to the base, and that is it. We have our computer plugs here in the front, which help set up the machine. So you're going to just have, you have one here that's wide, and then you have a thin one which looks a bit like a phone plug or an Ethernet wire. So obviously they'll only fit in those matching ports. We'll screw that one in. The parts themselves are like a trapezoid, so it will help you with making sure only the part is facing north or south so that you can't do it upside down or backwards. It only fits in one way. Super simple. We have some more accessories in the box, so I'm going to show you those. You have an additional tool tray. I don't use it much. It does get 2 bolts and it goes underneath. It's great to have some tools sticking out. If you really have a lot of tools that you use when you string, it's a great addition. I don't use it because the string gets caught on it a lot, so it can be tricky, but a great addition. We have a smaller tool tray which goes on the outside of the machine. This one I do use. It works out great. It has a plastic piece that hangs on with a couple compartments for you. All you do is put it on, push down, and it clicks in. Easy peasy, right there on the side for you. We have our clamps, which come with the machine. Being that this is the latest 2024 edition, it's the new speed clamps, which also come on the Baiardo L. What you do is very simply put them on the piston here. So you got 1 and 2. We have that all set. We have some more stringing tools. So in this one, you will have some pliers, some cutters, some bent pliers. Those are really great. You can put them in the tool tray. In this tool, you'll have the Allen wrenches, which do everything on the machine. You will have a pathfinder or a string opener. You'll have an awl, and you'll have a couple additions to convert your machine if you're looking to do badminton, squash, racquetball. It does all of the rackets. Just a great part about the latest Baiardo. You'll see the pins here. If you push that, you'll notice that the mount slides in, and that allows you to do smaller rackets, whether it be badminton or other ones, and then it does it on both sides. You can slide them both in and out, and they lock in. So you can convert some of the mounts for the different racket types. Really helpful stuff. You have a starting clamp. You have, this is a piece of plastic that covers the ports. Once again, I personally don't use it. It goes underneath the machine here. It just clicks in. It's pretty easy to use. I don't like these. My string gets caught on there all the time. It slows me down, so I don't use it. So I just keep that in the plastic. And a final thing to consider, you will see a little elbow piece similar to that one. I always pull that one right off. So it looks like this. Again, definitely keep these, but now we have a sleek, streamlined bottom of the machine that doesn't snag or catch anything, so that's a pro tip for you. And then finally, we have our power source. So we have the wire and the power bank. Always take off the little zip ties. I like to keep them to stow the wire. Make sure it's not all over the place and it's streamlined. So on the side of the machine, and we'll try to show you a close-up of this, you're going to notice that there's a power port. It fits your voltage perfectly. And there's a prong that will clip on and make sure the wire doesn't get pulled out. So you pop it in. You lift up the wire through the prong, and it's clipped and going. Again, I like to put the pack on the back of the machine so you can rest it on that felt piece that I showed you earlier in the video, and then just plug it in. We do recommend putting it into a power strip just in case you get a surge or anything like that. You don't want to damage the machine. I believe it does have a fuse built in, but it can be tricky to kind of troubleshoot that. It's better to just put it in a power strip and be safe about it. So that is the full installation of the Wilson Baiardo. Again, giving you a quick recap. We put the base in upside down so that you can work on it like a table. 6 screws. Then we open up the top of the machine, take out the 6 screws, line it up, plug in your ports, screw it in, and you're ready to go. Even with the filming of this video and doing it by myself, we're at about the 20-minute mark, so it's not that tricky of an installation. The final pro tip I have for you is that you're seeing that there's a bit of wobble to it. On the base, you're gonna see some screws here at the bottom, and you can use your your Allen wrench to adjust it so the legs can go up higher or lower to deal with uneven ground. Definitely something worth doing, so make sure you set it up in its final place that you're going to be stringing, because it might be wobbling here, but when I set it up at my station, the ground might be a different level. And use those legs, bring them up and down to make sure it's taking the wobble out of it and that you're ready to go. So thank you for watching how we set this up. If there's any type of tennis gear or equipment that you have questions with, let us know, comment below, or hit that subscribe button because we have new videos coming every week.